Hello everyone, welcome back to Form Therapy. This is the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD. And today we are checking out 열이올라요, aka Heartburn by SUNMI. This is SUNMI's summer comeback, and the Korean title here, 열이올라요, it does not necessarily translate to heartburn. 열이올라요 is she's saying something. It's not just a title, it's a sentence. The yo does that. That suffix is, if you are familiar with how Koreans talk, there's politeness. There's the polite manner, and then there's the casual. And she's actually speaking in a polite manner, saying heat is rising. 열 is heat, and then 이 is like referencing like the heat is rising. 올라요, and then is rising. So that's what the Korean title stands for. Now, before we get into today's video, real quick, if you want to support the channel, consider visiting our Patreon. We do bonus reactions on there, and we also don't make money. If you do see ads on our videos, we don't place them there. The labels place them there. You know, all our AdSense, it goes to the labels and the distributors. So if you want to support the channel, just visit our Patreon. We do bonus reactions for listening parties, variety shows, K-dramas, survival shows. But of course, you don't have to support us monetarily. You can like the video down below, or you can just subscribe down below. All right, let's get into the video. This is Heartburn, aka 열이올라요 by SUNMI, and this is your form of therapy. (1966) Los Angeles. Well, this is a pretty retro beat, so that makes sense. Wow, that orange hair is striking. Wait, what? The English subtitle is vastly different from the Korean one. In fact, it's actually the English subtitle is actually way more explicit. Whoa, what is happening in this video? Wait. 1856 Texas. 1928 Bogota. Oh, that is fascinating. Oh. Oh, wow. Wow, there is so much to unpack here. Sunmi did an incredible job with that. There is so much to talk about. Let's start with let's start with the title and how it actually influences the rest of the song and how it informs the rest of the song. Sunmi is such an incredibly great feminist who is able to turn her agency or her ideals into art, and it's really, really cool. So 열이올라요 in Korean, as I mentioned at the top of the video, but let me just give a quick breakdown for those of you who may be new to Korean or are unfamiliar. But I'm sure those of you who have been, in the K-pop sphere for a long time, you may be familiar. But in Korean, there are two ways to speak, which is 존댓말 and 반말, which is speaking formally and speaking informally, speaking politely, speaking casually, right? So you would ordinarily speak formally to your parents, to strangers. Well, you can also speak informally to strangers and to parents. And depending on the parents, that's like a preferential thing. And you would not speak really informally to parents, but sometimes, you do. But ordinarily, if you are strangers or if someone is older than you, you speak to them formally. It's a sense of hierarchy, and it's a sense of hierarchy and respect. Now, the entire duration of the song, I don't think there is one point where Sunmi sings casually. And you might be saying, if you are new, you might be saying, what's so special about that? Well, most songs, aside from like maybe ballads, like Korean ballads, are sung casually. They are sung informally. Lyrics are written informally. They are usually almost never written formally. So the fact that like all the lyrics in this song is formal is weird until you get further into it. Well, that's where the music video comes in. When the music video comes in, she's 1966 Los Angeles, very beautiful, what it looked like a Spanish inspired home. And the way it's shot is shot like with that retro film burn sort of look. I really liked that. And then he died, and it's like, wait, what is happening? What is this getting darker? And then yes and no. It got a little bit darker, but not as dark as I was expecting. We're kind of seeing that Sunmi is this being, whether she is, it's a mystery, and I like that it's kind of left up in the air. We don't know if she's a goddess of some kind, if she's a ethereal being, if she's a succubus, if she's some kind of supernatural creature, like is she like a curse, like who knows, right? Whatever she is traveling the world, living through the ages, and capturing the hearts of men. And I don't know if like she's doing it on purpose or if it's a mix of like, if she's also saying like she also loves these men, but she also hates them. Like, I don't know, like, because the scenes where she is intimate with them, Sunmi's acting is very superb, and it looks like they're in love, which is why I initially, with the whole 1966 first part, I bought into that. Okay, maybe it's just like like an old timey music video, but then it goes further and further, and so I'm wondering, but is it all just an act? Because there's one shot where she's like in an alleyway of some kind. I don't know. It was like a long focal length shot, and like a guy's like falling to his knees, like on top of her. He's like sliding down. She's like not even batting an eye. Like she seems uncaring. I almost wonder like if she puts on an act. And so now how that leads into our next bit is the fact that she is speaking politely. The way she's speaking throughout this song is she's singing from the perspective of the docile housewife, the stereotype, that stereotype nuclear, like that 1950s nuclear family stereotype of like the doting housewife. It's like, oh honey, like how was work? That like she's speaking from like that kind of a perspective by speaking with formality, like, especially like if you're married, like, I mean, this is something I personally believe in. If you're married, why speak in formal language, Like, especially this was the case of like the older generations. like my grandmother always spoke to my grandfather formally. Never, like, he spoke to her casually, but she always spoke to him formally. And I always thought that was weird. Between family, I always thought that was weird. But, you know, it's a very old-timey thing. And so, like, she's kind of playing into that docile, like, doting house. Like, it's almost like a trick. Like, she's tricking all these men into believing that she is, like, the woman of their dreams or of that time. Like the perfect woman or whatever, and then they all wind up dead. Let's go ahead and actually watch this again, because, well, I want to see if there's anything else I want to talk about, but I also just want to see it again. I love the sound. It's so interesting. And I love, like, whatever that instrument is, that bop, bop, bop. Yeah, from the way she starts, she says "그대," which could appropriately. It's not a direct translation to "dear," but I think "dear" is probably the closest one. The way she's dancing and the way it's zoomed in on it, almost like, is she like? I mean, is she supposed to be like literally, pun intended, a siren? Is she like some version of a siren luring men? You know, like that dance was just so hypnotic, but it was kind of funny. But like, I feel like that's kind of the point. There's like a weird, almost like a black comedy thing going on. There's like something dark and humorous about this video. And look at the way this is filmed. I mean, not only is this guy gorgeous, but it's also shot very beautifully. Everything is shot and treated like a very, very cinematic movie type look. And I think that really helps the immersion. So please understand, when the English subtitles say, I enjoy this vibes, like, that's not like most, like, the translations in this song are taking very heavy creative liberties, but I also think that's on purpose. It's not a criticism. I think it's on purpose, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But as I said, everything she's saying, everything she's singing in, it's kind of like, it's very formal speak. She's not actually saying vibes. It's not that modern of a way she's speaking, but it's not like super old school either. It's just like, it sounds very odd to see like it saying that in the English. I just want it to be known that people understand that she's speaking very politely. Yeah, even like that's an appropriate one where she says, "Oh my, I'm getting breathless." Like, it's lines like that, "Oh my," like that, like, "bless your heart." It's like that kind of like a role that she's assuming. Okay, this is where I was like, what? But she's saying the same line. She's still saying 열이올라요, but she purposely made the English subtitle "getting me tight." Ayo. She purposely made it "getting me tight." Now, there's one more line. She says, "I'll let my guard down once." And in Korean, she's saying, "한 번쯤은 is it 무너드릴게요 or 무너줄게요? 무너져 줄게요. Interesting. I thought she was talking to him. I thought she was saying, so 무너, it's like to 무너져 is to like break down or destroy, but she said 한 번쯤은 무너져 줄게요. I think she's saying like, I don't know. Hold on, wait, what the? Yeah, okay, so she's talking about herself. Okay. She's saying 한 번쯤은 무너져 줄게요. She's saying at least once I'll let myself be destroyed. is what she's saying. If we're translating it literally. She wrote, I'll let my guard down once in English. But if you translate it literally, she said, at least one time, I'll let myself be destroyed, is what she's saying. That is interesting. Like, the way that the English lyrics are so different from the Korean, and it's very clearly purposeful, too. I don't know, like, listen, I can't get through everything in one video, but I'm just pointing these things out, and then it's up to you guys to interpret it how you will. That's also another thing. It says heartburn, 열이올라요. Heartburn. I wonder, like, I wonder if it's called heartburn is because that's what she's doing to them. She gets them so hot that their hearts burn up, you know? Because as I said, the Korean title is not heartburn. It has nothing. Well, I wouldn't say nothing, but it doesn't. It's not saying like my heart is burning or anything. It just says heat is rising. You know, the heat is rising. That's the title. I keep dancing with dangerous moves. Interesting. Yeah, that was the scene I was talking about, the hallway one. And she's dancing on their graves, literally. She's like dancing in front of them. But she also holds photos, mementos of them. Ooh, wow. SUNMI is one of my favorite, and I'm glad we're getting a lot of this these days. We're getting a lot of like soloists who are artists. Like they go beyond just like, even if they write their own music, they go beyond just like writing their own music. Like it's so artistic. It's so creative. She's telling a narrative, a story. It's a little loose. They leave a little up for interpretation, but I feel like it's completely fascinating because of it. I would give this music video, on the music video level, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I love the way it's shot. It looks like a movie, like it's shot like halfway closer to a movie than it is a music video. I think that works in its favor. It gives it a very beautiful, almost like a very indie romantic movie sort of a vibe to it. And then there's the story. The story is so wonderful. It's dark and there's a kind of edginess to it. And it also leaves you with just enough questions. It's like there's one where she's like dancing over the body, and then sometimes she's like shaking them to see if they're still alive. Like, does she actually is she some kind of person who continues to fall in love and then she knows it'll kill these men, but she can't help but love. You know, like she can't help but love them. And then they eventually die because like she also keeps mementos of them. She remembers all of them, you know? Like I wonder if she's some kind of immortal being who just can't help it, right? Can't help but continue to love and like meet other people. Or maybe she's forever cursed to kill every man she falls in love with, or any man who falls in love with her. Who knows, right? Like it's so interesting because it's so like in flux like that. With the song, I would give it a 9 out of 10. So in terms of like, that's an objective score. In terms of like a personal like listening score, I would probably give it an 8. But I have to give it that extra 9 because I really love just what she did conceptually with the lyrics, just like the fact that the title is the way it is, but then the English title is Heartburn. Like she's one of the few people where I feel like she made a relationship between the Korean subtitles and the English subtitles. They kind of coexist together. You wouldn't think anything about heartburn or their hearts burning up, but that's where they grab, right? They grab at their chest unless you saw the English title or you saw the English subtitles. But never at any point does she say in the song specifically, my heart is burning up. She just says, 열이올라요, like my temperature is rising or the temperature is rising. It's not specific to anyone whose is, but you know, that is really clever. What I was talking about with speaking in a formal tone is also really, really clever. And I believe like the way like she infers between like the Korean lyrics and then the English lyrics changing, even though the Korean lyrics don't, I feel like she means something deeper by that too. So that is something really interesting. I don't know what that means, but I would love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments down below. Guys, that's going to be it for my reaction review to SUNMI's Heartburn, aka 열이올라요. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to support our content, you can visit our Patreon. Over on our Patreon, we do bonus content like listening parties, variety reactions, K-drama reactions, and more. But of course, you don't have to support us monetarily. You could always hit the like button down below, leave a comment, helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Go ahead and subscribe over here. We're going to have a button for you here. And go ahead and check out our other videos over here. And we'll see you next time. Bye.